haven't posted in like a minute. Y'all, this lip balm, best $90. That's all I gotta say. I want to do like a makeup look. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we just gonna make it happen. I wanted to sit here and talk about what's been going on, like, while I had been gone from social media, and I got banned from my actual account, so I had to make a new one, which is cool because I kind of wanted like a fresh start because I feel reborn. And let me tell you guys why I feel reborn. So, I mean, on here, I don't know how to like, okay, I think that's better. On here, I have talked about how I deal with mental illness and all of that. Well, I feel like I've been doing a lot better considering a lot of the stuff that has been happening in my life, which I don't really want to get into details with that specific stuff, but I got some new stuff for makeup too, so I'm gonna put those things on. I do need to like tie my hair. Sorry, I get distracted really fast. Anywho, concerning some of the stuff that has went down in my life. Also, don't mind my room, it looks real crusty today. But yeah, I have been holding on to positive affirmations and prayer. So back in March, from I think it was from the 16th to the 19th, I went to a women's retreat, and we're like, that was an amazing experience. And it's just like, initially, like, I'm not gonna lie, I went with this like thought, like, I just want to see if it helps. Like, I didn't really go because I had a lot of faith anymore or anything like that. Like, I was trying to get close to going, I was trying to go to church and trying to get close to God again, and I was just starting to go. So if my cats or my siblings or anybody in the house is loud, I'm so sorry. But yeah, anywho, I wasn't really having like my best relationship with God. I feel like I was just, I've been sober and abstinent for over 6 months, but it wasn't that. It was just like I felt empty. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I didn't feel like fulfilled for real. Like, I didn't feel like I was where I wanted to be. Like, yes, I was like doing okay with my mental health, but it wasn't like I felt complete, if that makes sense. Anywho, one of my biggest things that I feel like was for real like preventing me from healing is I just could not forgive my mom. And before going into the retreat, like that whole month of like March and a little bit like endings of February, like I really had like so much hate in my heart. Like, when I tell y'all, like, if my mom spoke, I was just ready to like throw hands. I was just like, please disrespect me so I could beat your ass. And then I don't know, like, it's because a lot of like childhood trauma, and it's just like, it's just not, it hasn't been a good relationship with me and my mother. But during this retreat, it's like I learned a lot, not even in just like a religious aspect, because we would have like groups of reflection and things like that, and I really enjoyed it because I got to explain to them not only in God's aspect or like the religious aspect, but through like medicine and therapy and things like that. Because oh, how did I do that? I feel as though God gives you the resources on earth, right? As long as you pray for help, he will always listen to you. And I feel like a lot of the times we ignore the signs, or we expect God to come sit down and fix it. And that is not going to happen. If you do not work for what you desire, nothing is going to change. He will give you the resources to get where you want to be, but it's up to you whether you're going to take them or not. I'm trying to like concentrate and do my makeup, sorry. Yeah, it's really like, it's on you for real. Like, if you don't get up and get it, like, God puts it in front of you. He's not gonna literally shove down your throat type shit, you know? Sorry. I'm supposed to not be cursing no more. Not really like supposed to, but I'm trying to like for real be a changed woman, because like I said, like during that retreat, all I kept trying to do was open up my heart, because that's the main thing that they kept telling us. If you do not open up your heart to him, he cannot heal you. Why? Because Jesus is a gentleman. And I liked the example. All right. I like the example that they gave us. So the example was that there was this like professor, and he basically was showing the class a painting. And in that painting, the door only had a doorknob from the inside and not from the outside. And he asked the class, what's wrong with this painting? And someone said, it doesn't have two doorknobs. Like, that's what's wrong with it. And then the professor said, sorry, my cats are ratchet. The professor was like, nope, that's actually not the issue. They're like, the doorknob is within, because that's a representation of your heart. Like, your heart can only be like open from within, right? And it's not like God is going to force himself into your heart, because he's a gentleman. And unless you literally open up that door, he is not going to enter, because you're not allowing him to enter your heart. And once I heard that, I kept trying to like tell myself, like, Marianne, open the door. But tell him, you know, close it. It helped me heal. Like, really helped me heal from everything that is stopping me from healing. And one of the main things that I felt like is, I mean, I'm still working on it, because I'm not going to say, oh, I immediately am fixed. That's not true. And I'm not going to sit up here and lie to y'all. But one of the main things that was just kind of like really eating me up and not letting me be happy is trying to forgive my mother. And I mean, it's easier said than done, right? Like, practice forgiveness. But it's hard to forgive when that person kind of like keeps doing things that hurt you. And I basically, like, I kept crying during this retreat, and during reflection I would talk about it, because I mean, I low-key, like, even if my mom was in my group, I'd probably still talk about it, because I don't have a problem expressing my feelings, as y'all can tell. And yeah, but basically they were like, oh, like, if you guys are like close or family members, you can't be in the same group, because some people might not feel comfortable talking. And yeah, so I was not in the same group as my mom. But I like, ever since I was younger though, like I like to be around older women because I like to hear their perspective of things. Because like, I mean, I'm young, right? I'm younger than them. And it's just like they've probably either gone through the same or similar situations as me. And hearing everyone's story as to what brought them there and their journeys and stuff, it low-key, like, it really helped me. And it also helps you in the sense that you see that some people, you know, are going through really tough times, and you don't see that. You don't see that. And that's why you have to treat everyone with love and stop spreading hate out here, because you don't know what the next person is going through. And I feel like a lot of us, like, you know, we're like rude because we're having a bad day, but you don't know, like, maybe the person that smiled at you earlier was probably having a worse day for real. So like, always try to be kind. And I mean, as humans, obviously we're not going to be perfect, but you know, when you make mistakes, that's another thing, we call it sins, but they are mistakes. And guess what? God will forgive you as long as you, with your whole heart, actually want to stop doing these things. And I've been for real, like, every time that I make mistakes, sins, I'm doing these hands because, okay, sins, every time that you do sins, ask him to guide you, to help you not, you know, repeat the same mistakes. Because it's one thing for it to be a mistake, but for you to continue to do them, it's no longer a mistake, it's a choice. And I've been really, like, trying to, like, remember that. Like, okay, Marian, you know, obviously sometimes you're gonna mess up, but tomorrow's a new day. Ask God to guide you. Don't immediately say, hey, God, forgive me, like, I'm really sorry, I'm never gonna do this again, because you don't know that. Just say, God, like, I know I mess up, but help me not do that again. Anywho, like, again, the retreat, I learned so much, not only from religious perspective, but about other people and their stories and what brought them there. And like, after the retreat, basically, like, I started to feel a little bit sad again and a little bit confused. And the thing is that they told us, when you get close to God, the enemy does not like it. And the enemy will continue to fight and to confuse you so that you don't keep trying to get close to God. And on the week before Easter, no, 2 weeks before Easter, we had women's reflection again. So it wasn't the retreat, but it was the women from the retreat meeting up again to talk about how it's going after the retreat. And we talked about how a lot of stuff happened after, and how some of us, you know, relapsed and did things that weren't okay, like arguing with a family member, or just, you know, not doing something that we know we should be doing, or vice versa, like doing something we know we shouldn't. And yeah, so like, the next time that they were gonna have a reflection, it was going to be on Easter. So I went to church that morning with my mother, and everything was cool. But around 2, I was like, hey mom, like I'm gonna go to church for the women's retreat, like it's today, are you gonna come with me because you didn't go last time? And she was like, no, I have a lot of stuff to do. And I mean, it's understandable, sometimes you got stuff to do. But she was like, no. I was like, okay, cool, like can you drop me off? She was like, no, because like I got other stuff to do. I was like, all right, well, I asked one of the ladies from my group to take me to church with them for reflection, and one of them picked me up and the other one dropped me off. So the enemy, as I said, does not like when you're trying to get close to God. And I spent almost all day at church that day. Bruh, Leo, shut up. Anyway, I had like a huge fight with my family, and honestly I was like really sad. But like, I mean, I suffer with like bipolar disorder, as I previously have told y'all. So whenever things that like extremely like mess with like my emotions, it's like a lot more intense than it probably is. And yeah, so in the moment, like I was in my room, like I was like in tears, and then I remembered the enemy doesn't like when you're at church, Marianne. The enemy doesn't like when you're trying to get close to God. So what did I do? I started praying. I started praying. And I didn't speak to my mother for a week. And then after after going to women's reflection the next Sunday, the women, like, they made me see things from a different perspective. Because for me, it was like, oh, well, I'm trying to keep following God, and if that means cutting off my mother, then I will, da 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 da. And it's just like, man, but at the end of the day, you're not really forgiving. And what is God all about? Oh. Because in Our Father, basically, like, you're saying, forgive us like we forgive, you know? And you're lying, because you're not forgiving. You can't even forgive your own mother, but you're expecting forgiveness, baby girl. Leo, shh. But yeah, if you can't forgive but you're expecting forgiveness, like, you're just being a hypocrite, for real. Come here. You want to get carried or not? You're just being annoying. But yeah, so they basically told me things from like their perspectives. They were like, you know, yes, in that case, like, your mom is low-key wrong, but we're not gonna point fingers either, you know? What you're going to do is trying to, you know, set the peace. Like, we're not telling you off the bat that, you know, forgive her right now because she's your mother. They were like, no, obviously, like, those things, they take time, and it's not gonna happen overnight. And I decided to speak to my mother again. But I've also learned that if it's not cute, put it on mute. So basically, if I have nothing nice to say, I'm not gonna say anything, because I don't want to like get into another fight just because I'm trying to prove a point, or just because in the moment I am angry still. So I kept telling her, like, you know, I'm not ready to talk, I'm not ready to talk, I'm not ready to talk. And I feel like she wasn't trying to like respect that, but I know my boundaries, and I'm like, all right, well, we still not gonna talk because I'm not ready to talk. And yeah, so basically, me and my mom are cool for the most part. Like, I told her, though, I was just like, I told her, like, because she tried to hug me once, like, the first day we started, like, kind of speaking. And I was like, no, because I'm still, like, still not happy, like, with what happened. And she seemed sad about that, but it's just like, my sister is so annoying. Like, Why are you spamming me? Hold up. Oh my god, I'm getting annoyed. I'm shark bait, so I'm really annoyed lately. And this motherfucker, he's been really, like, really getting to me. Okay. I don't even remember what I was talking about because this girl over here distracted me, like, for no reason. Anywho. I'm gonna do... Ooh, I don't want to do that anymore. Let me just clean the brush. I hate when people, like, will have a certain plan and then they want to switch everything. Like, that really ticks me off. Anywho, yeah, like, if it's not cute, put it on mute, then blah, 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 blah. Like, what else did I say? Man, this is... Oh, I hate being interrupted. But, yeah, so I was like, yeah, no, I'm not happy yet. So, like, please, no hugs. And yeah, like, we are talking now, like, we're on talking terms, and I talked to her about what happened. Well, not in person. I did send her like a long essay because she kept texting me talking about something, I love you, and I'm just like, I love you too, but that doesn't mean that what you did was okay. And I'm like, because I just feel as though you've never picked me. And it's not even like I'm trying to be a pick me bitch or whatever, but it's just like, damn, like, when I needed my mother the most, you was never around. At my lowest points, it's like you literally were the one mainly kicking my ass when I needed you. And actually, like, obviously it hurts. But, like, you know, she didn't say I'm sorry, but I feel like she implied it. But it's still not the same. I want to hear the words. But, like I said, during these times, I could have folded. I could have gotten real ugly. But I chose to pray. I chose to stay quiet until I had the right words. I chose to talk about it with the ladies in the group, talk about it with God, talk about it with my therapist, my counselor. And, you know, God is going to answer. And he's going to put you where you need to be at. And the enemy, obviously, is going to try to tempt you. And he's going to try to get you where it hurts. And it's up to you whether you're going to let that happen. And I decided that through the storm, I'm going to hold on tighter to God's hand. Because winning that argument or trying to be right, it's not worth it. It's really not. Like, at the end of the day, being with him and feeling that peace is way more worth it than being right in the moment. And I keep telling people too, like, I'm not trying to force my religion onto you. By all means, believe in what you want to believe in, as long as you are not spreading hate is cool. And as long as you respect my religion, again, it's cool. But to those who like get judgy because I believe a certain thing that they do not, it's just like, grow up. Not everyone is gonna see things the way that you do. And I feel like some people may be like, oh, but like you be telling me this and that. I give you my advice and I give you my opinion. Like, I'm also entitled to have my own advice and my own opinion. And so are you. But overall, that's it. That's really the tea. I'm gonna take forever to kind of do my face, and my videos are already really long. So, have a blessed day, and thank you for listening to me.